Welcome to 3 key elements to make a more successful marketing piece, whether it's your website, a business card, a flyer, anything at all, or even just you speaking about yourself. How do your customers and clients know that your offer is what they want? Did you know that a lot of the times they simply don't understand what you offer, or they don't understand the benefit, at which point they can't know that they want to pay you money? Marketing is all about turning things around so that people come up to you and want to pay you money for whatever you do, for whatever it is that your business offers. Hi, I'm Kalyn, and I am co-owner of Gerber Global Marketing, which is a marketing firm in which we have international clients. We have clients such as a postgraduate school, and in any case, we do things for our clients like increase their enrollment or get our lawyers more phone calls so that they have more clients. We work with great lawyers and we want them to have wonderful clients. I'm also the founder of OMG, which stands for Outstanding Mastermind Group, which is a group for ladies that are entrepreneurs where I help them in mastermind meetings to navigate the landscape of digital marketing, because I know it can be confusing, so I help clarify it so that they can hopefully improve their marketing, improve their businesses. So when it comes to your marketing, the information that you want in any communication is going to come best from a place of simplicity. So let's kiss them. When it comes to your marketing, keep it simple. Oh, sorry, this is an example of a piece, a marketing piece that was handed out to me. Well, the other people who received it, one of the first things they said was, "What kind of doctor is it? What is this?" They couldn't understand, and this is an example of a marketing piece that sometimes I do run across, which is so unclear that as you look at it, you can wager whether as you look at it, you can look and see whether or not it's something you think you would want to participate in. Or you might question what you would be participating in. Maybe you're just having dinner and there's a doctor at the table. Maybe you don't even know what it is that's being offered. Well, here's an example of how I might put something like this together. And this is something I threw together for this presentation for you. So I might do something like, say, if I was the one doing it, learn 3 key elements to a successful marketing piece, presented by Kalyn, marketing strategist. Hopefully those 2 things alone start to tell you that I'm not just someone that doesn't know about marketing and what we're doing. Join us. Enjoy a free dinner. Call to reserve your seat at the Secret Garden Cafe. RSVP, there's the number to call for the event. Dinner, talk, and learning at 6:30 p.m. Cafe is at 410 East Boynton. OutstandingMastermindGroup.com. After dinner, you will want to create a postcard. So later I heard from this person that handed out this postcard that it was a free dinner. Nothing about this told us that it was free, and that is a nice benefit. Some people would go for that alone, or because they can go and meet other people, let alone learn from the doctor if the doctor's speaking. So I would certainly add that in here. But once you read mine, you can look and see if you feel like you would be more intrigued and if you would be more apt to come and participate, RSVP to participate in this event. So let's look at some of the keys that I put into this postcard for you. I put an immediate benefit in, learn the 3 key elements to a successful marketing piece. I put in a CTA, or a call to action. In other words, a lot of the times when we are brand new to something and we've never seen something before like this postcard, until somebody tells us, we really don't know what it is that we're supposed to do. A call to action is the business's way of letting us know what they want us to do. Join us. Call to reserve. In other words, I want you to come, be a part of the event, and I want you to call an RSVP for this event. I also put another benefit in down here to try to excite you. to try to have you want to come, because I know that marketing can be difficult for a lot of people, and doing something like putting together a postcard or a web page can be a bit of a drain. And so I want this to be an event where afterwards you're going to want to put a postcard together. So does that communicate more to you? Does it excite you? Key number 1 in creating our piece is including our 5 W's back from the old days in school. Who, what, where, when, why. When we include these, we're automatically going to, with very little effort, make sure that our marketing piece at least communicates a lot more than it might if we don't have time, especially if we're rushed, but if we don't know what to say. Who? We want to talk about who you are and who your business is. We want to define it. For example, if you're a doctor, you really want to say what kind of doctor. People are impressed to a certain degree that you're a doctor, you have the credentialing, but they need to know what kind of doctor. Because if it's a specialist for women and you're a man, you're not going to be interested. So we need to know exactly what kind of doctor you are, or what kind of specialty you have. Because even if you're not a doctor, in any business at all, it's so hard for us to get interested and know that we want to be a paying client or customer or anything like that when we don't know what you really do. So you really want to define who you and your business are. You want to be sure to tell them what you offer, what you do. A lot of people will say, I'm a writer, but they don't say what kind of writing they do. I'm a writer. I'm a ghostwriter. I'm a copywriter. Depending on what you say that you do, that makes all the difference, and that can be what captivates your audience. Where? Your marketing piece, you want to let them know where they can do what you want them to do. Do you want them to go to a website? Do you want them to make a phone call? Do you want them to meet with you at a certain time, come to a certain event? You want to be sure to say where and when. Put a time to it, when it is that you want them to do something. Even if you're doing something like you're just advertising, for example, as in the example I'm going to give you in a minute, that you sell jewelry, put a time to it. You know, if you guys go and check out my website in the next 2 days, I'll give you an extra discount. I'll give you 10% off. When you put a time to it, you're starting to schedule things for yourself and for other people. Sure, absolutely, there will be a lot of people who won't even pay attention, who it'll kind of go in one ear and out the other. They aren't your potential customer. However, the people who do listen, they will want to go, and if you put a time to it and you say you're giving 10% off when they come within the next 2 days, they will do that. And now you've given them a time, and you're really making your marketing work for you. I hope you got a good sense of that, because a lot of people out there aren't necessarily your potential customer or client, but you really want to speak to the ones that are. And you don't worry about the ones that aren't, because they weren't anyway. Why? What benefit you are offering. Make sure that you always talk about what it is that people are going to want to learn, want to buy, what benefit they're getting in what it is that you offer. So, as an example, I met a woman at one of my mastermind groups who didn't even really share what her product was or how we could purchase. I actually had to say to her, well, I'm confused. So what are you talking about? What do you offer? Because she spoke about 2 different things that she's doing, and how she was a designer and how she had this other company, but nothing was clear. Her who wasn't defined. She wasn't saying what she was offering or selling, so we really couldn't want the what. We didn't know what it was. She didn't say where we could get it, not that we knew what we would be getting. There certainly wasn't any time to it, and there really wasn't a benefit. So with an absolute lack of the 5 W's, you can get a sense that it made it very difficult to even comprehend what it is that she had that she was offering. So hopefully, at least, using who, what, where, when, why can be one key to your creating a successful marketing piece. Key number 2, when you're talking about including the basics, what you're really after is being seen and heard because that combination gets you more remembered. So some basics that are obvious, but sometimes they get forgotten, like as in that postcard, you want to include your logo. The idea behind a logo is that it is your brand recognition. That even if someone doesn't read anything and just barely scans a web page or a postcard or even a business card, anything at all, when they see your logo, they will instantly associate it with you, which means that you're showing up. They're thinking about you and you are at least being seen as opposed to not being read and being skipped over. So it increases some of that recognition for you. Always make sure that you hand out your business card. Again, I know it seems obvious, and some places I go, people bombard you with business cards. But whether it's your business card or anything else, you really want to make sure that you have your marketing pieces and that you're distributing them so that you're getting as much exposure as you can. Akin to this would be making sure that you're always telling people about your social networks when it's something online. Tell people to come visit or share your website. Oh, you should come see my website. Let me know what you think. Oh, you should follow me. We should become friends. We should, plus each other. Whatever it is, tell people. Because again, you want that call to action. You want to connect with people and you want to tell them that you want them to connect with you and you want to tell them how. So that they don't have to try to search for you on social networks because they won't. Instead, you send a friend request. You say, oh, we should be friends. They say that would be great. And you send the request kind of thing. As often as possible, have a visual suggestive aid. So, for example, my aid is this owl. I tend to include her, and she's almost like a second logo for my OMG group. Again, this is because it tends to create a part of the brand that I want, but owls also have a symbology. They suggest certain things like big eyes. They suggest that clarity, that vision, and owls also suggest wisdom. So all of these are really great characteristics that I want connected to the kind of marketing that I provide or the kind of marketing help that I provide my ladies. Always use your tagline. Your tagline is a quick little statement about a benefit or about what you do, about why people want to really engage with your business. And it's always a really important piece to make sure you include. It helps you in being seen. It helps you get yourself across. So these are some real obvious and yet not always used suggestions so that you are getting the combination as best you can of being seen and heard. And sure, it depends. If you're on a website, you'll be seen and heard if you have a video. But your business card, I understand that you won't be heard. But in other words, a combination of these things, when you're handing out your business card, this is when you start to make yourself as a business more memorable to people. When you use something like a tagline, you're using things, the visual, to really create more of a memory for people. Most communication is nonverbal, which means that over 70% of the way people perceive us tends to be nonverbal. This means that based on visual clues alone, people will categorize you in seconds. Before people read anything, for example, on a website, within seconds they decide whether they want to look further into the website or just shut it down and usually never return. So it's really important that you're playing with these ideas or adding to them, but making yourself as seen, heard, and memorable as possible, because they will so quickly decide, and they will so quickly, based on visual cues, make a judgment and decide whether you're a good doctor, a bad doctor, decide whether you're a good marketer or not. They're going to make a split-second decision about whether or not you are the expert that you want to portray yourself as, or that you're saying that you are. So represent yourself super well so that 70% of your business is represented up front. It's like it's already 70% is sold before you even start to speak or before someone reads things like your website. Key number 3, great marketing always includes the 4 C's. Clearly, concisely, quickly communicate and excite your audience. Be clear. So the postcard we saw, it wasn't clear, and I have a bonus example for you of a lack of clarity. Be concise. When you go on and on, if you're giving a lecture or if you're telling someone what you do, our brains will actually get bored and start to tune people out after a little while. So you really want to be concise. Quickly communicate. Something like a tagline quickly communicates. In any marketing piece, you want to quickly communicate. It used to be, for example, on websites that people would put long descriptions and long testimonials and, long sales pages. That's really drastically changed. Now it's all about quickly communicating, even to the point where a lot of websites are reducing themselves down to very few pages with a lot of information as you scroll down their home page, because that quickly communicates different kinds of information instead of having a very large and complex website. So today you want to really quickly communicate, and you always want to excite as best you can. Now, if you are selling something like Porsches, it might be easier to excite than if you are, for example, maybe a bookkeeper. It's hard to get excited about books. But the more you can get people excited about what it is that you offer, the more they're going to be interested and the more they're going to know that they want to spend money with you. So let's look at our 3 examples of taglines here. This is a BMW, and their tagline is the ultimate driving machine. Well, if you're into cars, I'm sure that on your bucket list at some point is going to be driving, at least test driving, an ultimate driving machine. That certainly hits our clear, concise, quickly communicating, and exciting. That's one of probably the best taglines out there. Nokia, connecting people. I really like this one as another great example because what we've got is a lot of communication with really 2 words and only the name. And they're talking about community. They're tapping into the general desire that we all have to connect, to be a part of. So connecting people for a phone company, this is very powerful. Even though we don't even have a picture of a phone, they're well enough known that they don't need a picture of a phone, but they're really getting something across, and it makes it seem like their phones are warm and fuzzy, which is nice compared to cold technology, which is, I'm sure, a part of what they were after, is giving you that emotional, tactile sensation and having you want their product, their phone, versus a different brand that might be more cold and more technological, that kind of thing. K. Every kiss begins with K. I have to say, out of all the jewelry stores or jewelry brands I can think of, this is the one that they use their tagline so often on their commercials and stuff like that it sticks in your head. And for anyone out there, if you want love, this is the place to go. So that clearly, concisely, quickly communicates. And, we could say, instead of excite, they're making a promise. It's the promise of love. So it's very strong in communicating that, that if, for example, if you're buying an engagement ring, you know that K is probably at least a place you want to check out. So here's an example of my tagline. My 2 businesses are Gerber Global and OMG. And so for Gerber Global, our tagline is want new customers. And that's because that's what we want. We want businesses such as schools or lawyers, any medium to large size business that wants to either use Google Ads or lead generation to really increase their market positioning and increase the phones or the clicks that they're getting so that they're getting new customers. So I'm trying to be very clear, concise, to quickly communicate and excite, because we can deliver on new customers. And if you want to grow your business, we can give that. So I like that one, and I hope you like it too. For OMG, I've got the tagline, grow your business, grow your life. And that's because I like to help women entrepreneurs to grow their business, to look at the different digital marketing options out there, such as social media or email marketing or working on their website, anything like this to help them grow their business. Because when you grow your business, you grow your life. And of course, as a group of women, they can also grow their life in the sense that they can make friends at OMG, and they can also really create business alliances as they meet other ladies who might become clients or partners or anything like that. So here's my bonus for you. You want to really make sure you take the time to be seen, heard, and remembered. Review what it is that you're putting out. Make sure that you just look at it. It's really hard for people to look at something and sort of take that view of an outsider and approach the content as if it were fresh. I know, and I really understand that. Nevertheless, here's a blown up image of something that I saw on Facebook, and I took a quick clipping for you for the purpose of this video for you, because the actual ad was about this size, and you can see that it's not legible. And when it's not legible, you can get a sense that there's nothing to be seen, really heard, or remembered here. And there's some copy here that's more legible, but I certainly can't read this. And so my first association is, one of a lack of clarity. So you always want to make sure, she had plenty of space to write more. You want to make sure that wherever it is that you're going to be seen well, because that's going to make all the difference.